Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Is it time?
It's time.
It's Veda time.
Shout out to Leon Kennedy. Nope, that's Resident Evil. Leon
White.
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, video game podcast, Leon Kennedy. If this is the first time you're seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure you like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in between. If you really like us, if you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop.
Oh, it's backwards.
Just like our affiliates, James Solar, Sarah Solar, and John Tinkley did, as well as our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, Vernon Slayton, and Dustin Downs. If you want cool t-shirts and the like, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop. I will say, I almost did the slip up.
Which way?
I said patreon.com/brainfart.
/brainfart.
Yeah. Oh
/
my God, if we could
Creed
get
thoughts.
/brainfart, that would be amazing.
.gov.
So yeah, a little bit of an update on my situation. I'm back in my house. However, I don't think they really did my floor the right way, and we're meeting with the guy tomorrow.
So he's moving back out.
So I'm going to be moving back out at some point because I think they screwed me over. But as of now, I'm sleeping in my own. I'm sleeping in my own house, in my own bed. My back hurts. I'm 40, but I went to the doctor today, and they just said, "Yeah, you're 40." And I'm like, "Well, okay." So a little bit of an update for the patrons and everyone for next week. We're going to pre-record next week's episode, which is just going to be a Game Awards prediction episode. I don't know if it's going to be a full episode or not. I don't know that we're going to go for like an hour on that. I think what my idea was 3 predictions from each of us, and then we run through all the predictions, all the categories, and go from there. I think it's probably going to be more like a quick hits thing.
Yeah.
But we won't have a full episode next week. I'm glad I'm back home too, James. Thank you so much. My wife is having surgery. What?
No, there was noise outside. It sounded like somebody was...
There was a cattywampus outside. My wife is having surgery. Everything's fine this Friday, and she's going to be laid up at least all weekend. So we're not going to be able to do a live episode next week. We'll probably just live stream for the patrons. We'll live stream the predictions episode so we can get your thoughts. Yeah, we'll get your thoughts on predictions. So we're going to go through, we're each going to do 3 predictions, but then we're going to run through all the categories, pick who we think should win. I think we don't do game of the year. We just say who we think will win. I don't want to give anything away.
Okay. Yeah.
But we're going to say who we think will win and who we think should win. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, if you're a patron, at the appropriate level, we'll be live Wednesday night around 7:30 or 8, I guess. And then around 7:30. Then we're gonna do the bonus episode for this month as well. So we got stuff coming. I'm seriously so sorry that my life has been insane. It's gonna keep being insane for the next few weeks or so. But again, my wife is fine, but she does have a surgery coming up, so I'm going to be out of action for a little bit. So that's why we're going to pre-record next week's episode or half episode, whatever it is. That's it. Sean, do we have any other witty banter?
Pre-cord. Yep. Witty banter.
Tom Holland's coming back for 3 more movies.
Well,
I think they said 3 Spidey movies. By the way, we will, despite what I just said, we're going December 16th to see No Way Home, and it's going to be our first movie review maybe since... Did we do Endgame? Oh, we did Rise of Skywalker, and I think I wanted to kill myself.
I think that was the last one.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I wanted to kill... Okay. We're gonna see No Way Home. on the 16th. So on the 17th, we'll have that up live for everybody. Wait, that's Wednesday 12/1 or 12/8? This Wednesday,
12/1.
12/1. Just because it'll go live for everybody else the following Monday, probably. Well, Monday for patrons, Tuesday for everybody. So we're going to record it live this Wednesday, the 1st. And then Friday the 16th, when we do movie episodes and stuff like that, it's been forever since we've done one. Like I just said, they're just going to go live for everybody. If we can live stream it, we will. Thursday the 16th, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what life is like. But yeah, I'm so excited for No Way Home. Sorry, I interrupted you, Sean.
Oh, I just don't know that I believe there's going to be 3 more Tom Holland Spider-Man movies.
Do you think Tobey's coming back?
No.
Okay. Andrew?
No.
Miles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe not yet, but...
Oh my God. Can you imagine if they kill Tom on screen? I'm done with the MCU. Like, I love Miles.
I would
You
not,
cannot kill Tom.
I don't think you kill Tom until you've established Miles.
I don't think you kill him. You can't. You can't. He's like, just seeing him say, Mr. Stark, I don't feel
That's
so
true.
good. Was
He's
like,
a kid.
I can't. I can't.
Yeah, I don't think they'll kill him. Oh, they better not kill him.
Any other witty banter? Fantasy football?
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't either. Christian McCaffrey's out for the year. Hooray me.
You and your poor 8-4 record.
As of now, I'm going to end up like 8-6 and barely make the playoffs and then lose in the first round.
Probably.
You, on the other hand, are like 2-10.
4-8.
Oh, okay.
Got him right where I want him.
All right, Sean.
Ow.
Did we move the table?
I hope not.
All right. What have you played this week, Sean? I know one game, but I will say I have not yet because I'm saving it for someone.
Yes.
Yes.
Got me a new platinum.
Hell yes.
My Friend Peppa Pig.
What actually is this game? Is it a walking simulator that's side-scrolling?
It's worse than I thought.
Oh.
It's you just walk back and forth. All you need to be able to do is left, right, and X, and that does everything in the game. You can just like interact with things
Kira
and
play
turn
it?
the light. Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. I know occasionally we still
John,
get new.
we know you hate Toby.
We still occasionally get a new Peppa Pig episode.
Oh.
But I don't know if these are like from the vault because
I've seen everything from the vault. So I'll tell you when I play it on Christmas Day.
well, no, I'm just saying the voice actors all sound different. Either they couldn't get the right ones back or their voices just like Daddy Pig doesn't sound right. Mommy Pig pretty much sounds okay. George sounds weird. He also looks weird. No, I know, but you know how he says dinosaur.
Right.
And this he's like
Dinosaur.
it's not that bad, but he's like dinosaur. Like it's just totally
I
different.
like dinosaurs.
The voice acting. I don't know why I'm critiquing this game, but like it's so weird. It sounds like there will be times where it just sounds like they cut somebody off in the middle of a
Thanks,
sentence, or they took several words and just put it together. I don't know. There will be times where Peppa will be like, "This is my house. We should go upstairs if you want." And it's just weird. Like it's just weird.
Sounds like Horizon Zero Dawn.
And I don't. Anyways, you just kind of walk around and you just do stuff. I don't know. It's worse.
So how long was the platinum?
Is
Is it like 10 minutes?
No, it
Oh,
took
okay.
me an hour and a half, probably, give or take. I can't read.
Oh, I wish everybody else could see the chat right now.
Oh.
John Tingley hopes Toby doesn't come back. James Solar says despicable. And John says, yes, he is. Dude needs to stick to riding horses. And about broke me.
But yeah, it wasn't good. I got a platinum. It's
so what are you up
fine.
to now? 30 something?
I think that was 34.
Wow.
33, 34.
Okay.
I played some more Circle of the Moon. I beat it. I got all the stupid cards. I take severe umbrage with this game. So we talked about it a little bit off air. It kind of feels like an old school Castlevania game in that everything's just very stiff and it's like whip, whip, whip. But there's like enemies that are like
yes, where you can go.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know, like the stiffness, that classic Castlevania feel is fine if the enemies are designed in such a way that it works with it. I don't think they are in this game. Some of them are fine, but there's some enemies that I'm like, you're moving way too fast for me to be able to try to hit you with my whip. There's weird things where, and I've talked about this. What was the other game? Maybe it may have even been Aria. It wasn't Harmony. Where it just seems like, I don't know. If I'm like hitting circle, 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 circle to like whip, 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 and I know this guy's about to attack and I want to be able to like duck under what he's doing, I should be able to hit like circle, 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 circle. Oh crap, he's about to attack. Better start holding down, keep hitting circle, 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 circle.
And
they won't
switch.
duck. You need to like actively stop whipping for a half a step for him to be able to duck, and then you can pick up whip it. It's just little weird things like that just drive me crazy. Once I got a little bit more powered up and stuff, I think I do enjoy the game more than I did. But this is just very much, you'll see like a box that clearly you have to push to get past. But you don't get to do that for a while. And so you either use a guide, which I did, or not a guide, but I at least looked up a map online, or you make physical or at least very good
because
mental
you can't
notes.
drop a pin.
Yeah, of everywhere you've seen that. Because eventually you're going to be able to get to push boxes. And then you're like, well, I better go back to all those boxes that I couldn't push before. And it's just like, I don't know. The game is just, and there's so many rooms that on your map are like, you know, a 4x3 room that probably should have been like 4 separate rooms, because on the map it's just, you know, a big blob like this. You don't see any of the terrain or anything. Right. It's just a 4x3 room.
And again, I will say, sorry, I don't like Axiom Verge 2, but I do like at least that when you look at the map in that game,
yes, the map is
there's
good.
terrain. Everything else about that game is not good. Continue.
And so maybe I come into the room from the upper left and I need to leave to the upper right. But then you actually get to the room and you got to go.
There's no lines. There's nothing. Yeah.
Like, it's just so, I feel like a lot of the rooms are too big. There's a lot of the game just doesn't flow to me. That being said, all I've got to do is beat the game in magician mode or whatever, where it's more of a magic focused thing. And then go back to Aria and get all the stupid souls, yeah, and I'll get the platinum. So
wow,
I'm close. I'm going to do it. Circle, other than, I don't even count Dracula X, Circle is by far my least favorite of the 3.
Dracula X sucks.
I'm curious
I played
about
it for 5 minutes. I was like, I can't play this.
I'm curious when I go back to Aria if I'm going to be like, oh, okay, this is better than Harmony.
Yes. Yes.
You think I will?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, I think that's all. Oh, I did finish Link's Awakening on the thing.
Did you know?
Game & Watch. What I will say, that final boss apparently way easier on Game Boy than Switch.
Really?
Because I struggled with him. I died a few times on the Switch.
I kicked his ass on the Switch. But what I was going to say is, did you know that basically every boss in that game, if you have magic powder, you just go, frunk, and it's like a one-hit kill. Not on the Switch, on the original.
I did not know that.
Yeah. But does it still go into, like, a spoiler alert, 20-year-old game, Ganon and all that? Okay, cool.
Yeah. The other thing, which I did the kind of a cheat thing where you can start with full health and whatever.
Me too.
So I didn't go exploring a whole lot. Remember the whole area, unless I'm getting my games confused, there was a whole, like, I don't know, maybe 10 by 8 square area on the right, kind of northeast part of the map.
Okay.
That I never even stepped foot into. Like, if I were to load my game up and look at the map, it's still just black. I never went over there. And I think what that area is where somehow you can go up in the mountain, or maybe you don't even go up in the mountains, but there's like you ride a raft or something.
Oh, yeah. I did that, yeah.
I think that's what that whole area is. I didn't step foot in that area. I hated it on the Switch. Like,
oh, you did it on the Switch.
No, I did it on
here.
the Switch. On
Okay,
this
gotcha.
playthrough, I never set foot over there.
Yeah.
And I was kind of dreading that part until apparently I realized you never actually have to go over there. I guess it's
when you
all
do
just for like collectible, like
it's
heart
hearts
pieces,
and seashells, and all that crap. Yeah.
So I was glad that I didn't have to mess with that. But yeah, I beat it. Good game. I think that's the. I think I maybe beat it once before, like start to finish on an emulator, but even that was probably the Game Boy Color one, not the original one.
It's so weird that they didn't do the Game Boy Color one.
I know.
The Game
I wish
Watch
they would
with a color.
I wouldn't be
dungeon.
surprised if it's in there somehow, and maybe
I feel like
somebody will figure
it's
out how
been
to
out for
unlock
like
it.
2 or 3 weeks now. Somebody would have figured it out.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, that is what I've played.
So I have thoughts on Circle of the Moon and Harmony of
Dissonance.
I was going to say Despair. Is that another game?
Nope.
All right. It ain't. I hate these games. I hate them both. I started with Circle and I was like, what the hell?
Circle is a
I feel like I'm
drastic
playing
departure.
a Game Boy Color game.
Yes.
Like it is horrible. I go from Aria with these beautiful animations, like I was saying last week, with like it feels like I'm playing like Symphony 2 to this, and it's like, and then I jump and I go, I hate it. I hate this game. Every time I jump and attack, which did you figure this out when you went back to Circle, like what I was saying?
I haven't got. Oh.
You were saying you didn't notice it, or it might have been another text that you were replying to. What I hate about Circle and Harmony is if you just jump, you have some control over what you're doing. If you jump and attack, you are on this path and you cannot stop.
Oh, no, I didn't notice that. But what I did notice, because it doesn't happen in Harmony, because there's no need to, but it does happen in Circle of the Moon, because there are collectibles that you get from some enemies. And every time you hit one of those enemies that has a collectible you can get, it pops in on the side. And now I know what you're talking about, because there were times where I'd be like attacking an enemy.
I can't see.
Trying to get this card or whatever that I'm waiting for it to drop. I'm like, I'm going to keep killing it over and over and over and over and over and over, waiting for the random drop. And then I'm like, I wonder how much experience I'm getting from this. Like, at least I can level up. So I'll go to the menu and I'm trying to see what experience I'm at, so I can see what I'm at after I kill him, and I can't read the numbers because the whole right side of my screen is just full of like.
I told you.
And yeah, so now I'm like, that's what he was talking about, and yeah, it drove me crazy.
I did turn it off, but even still, Circle of the Moon is not good. I wanted to like it. I have now. If I would have gone Circle, Harmony, Aria, maybe it'd be different. But going from Aria, like I said, which is just absolutely beautiful, like that is the peak of what the GBA could do. That, and I would say also Minish Cap. Back to Circle of the Moon, where, like we said, it's like it just feels so slow and sluggish. It's like you're playing old school Castlevania in a Metroidvania game, and it doesn't work.
What I did think was cool is we finally got to see where Camilla came from.
Well,
She's in this
I don't know.
game. Well, but you saw her in the beginning.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
yes. But also, but she was in Castlevania too. I don't even know what the
Oh,
timeline
really?
is for any of these. Yes.
Well, I don't remember that.
Well, nobody does because that game sucks. Also, Harmony of Dissonance pair, like, same thing. It's like they try to trick you. They try to trick you with the cool shadow effect from Symphony. And I'm like, ooh, I'm walking, and it's like, and then Death shows up, and he's like, ooh, I see you've got the shadow power, or whatever the hell he says. I'm like, whatever. But then I'm like, it's still the same thing. I don't like having a whip. This is so weird to say. I don't like having a whip anymore in Castlevania. You know, like if you're playing a game, if it's a side-scrolling game, fine. If you're playing a Metroid, I hate that crap so much. A exploration-based Castlevania game, you shouldn't just be relegated to a whip. Now, are you relegated to a whip in these games, or is it just because I played both of them for 30 minutes?
No, both of them, it's only whip.
You just upgrade the whip. Okay. That's dumb. I hate it. Like, I know in Aria you can go, or in Circle you can go, and then you hold it and it goes like, and then in Harmony you can go, and then you do the Castlevania 4 thing. Wow, cool. I could do that 10 years ago. Great. But I'm not a fan of either game. That being said, by the way, there's a Curb episode that is dedicated to that being
Castlevania.
said. No, that being said. Yes, Castlevania, of course. Larry David's a big Castlevania fan. There's a That Being Said episode. But anyways, I got it on sale for $15. I would have paid $40 just for Aria easily. So like, and I did play Dracula X a little bit. I'm like, this sucks. I would much rather play Requiem with the actual Rondo of Blood instead of the crappy SNES port. I don't know that I'm going to go back to any of those games, but Aria, I loved. So like from the time, it was like 10 minutes in, I was like, this is great. Well, it's because I started with the best one. I don't know how anybody could say that Aria isn't the best, but obviously personal opinions, everything to me.
See, maybe it's just been so long since I've played it. But, I mean, I'm done with Harmony. I have no need to go back. I do need to go back to Aria. So I'm curious. Maybe once I start playing it, I'll be like, yeah, this is way better than
I think you will.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, I was really bored the other night. I was in my house and I was happy. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. Sean said it's worth it. So I'm going to download the GTA, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, Black Ops Cold War. And I played through Vice City. I didn't play through. I started playing Vice City. So I have some thoughts. Never touched this game before in my life. The radios are awesome. Regardless of what, songs aren't there, they were there before. I don't know. I heard Flock of Seagulls and I was like, that's really all I want from this game.
By the way, I think throughout all time, and I'm probably forgetting some, I'm not saying the best, but to me the most memorable.
There's one other one.
The most memorable video game commercial.
Yes.
Is Vice City.
I can see the boat now going like.
Yeah. And I ran. Most memorable. Like, I don't even know what number 2 would be.
I do.
Oh, you know what else is up there? Even though I only remember the very end of the commercial, God of War. Because Gaia or whoever, is narrating the commercial, and then it just ends with God of War, and that's all I remember. But like those two things.
Gears of War.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Mad World. To me, that's number one. Like it was a trailer, and then they turned it into they shortened it into a commercial. To me, that's like untouchable as far as the best goes. But then the most memorable number 2 would definitely be Vice City, because I don't even know if I knew Flock of Seagulls before that commercial, but now I'm like, it's just bam, 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 bam. It's just entrenched in my brain. I haven't really had any glitches yet with it, and so I've only played Vice City. Again, never touched it before. The one thing I will say though, This whole GTA 5 control scheme thing was really overblown. Yes, you drive with R2 and L2. Yes, you have a weapon wheel. Yes, you have a radio wheel when you're driving. But other than that, when I'm out of a car and I'm like, oh, there's a car over there I want to get. And I'm like, Tommy Vercetti, I'm like, I'm just going to run over there. And he's like, I go from nothing to... I'm like, whoa. Chill. Tommy, relax. And there's sometimes when the camera is like fixated on you and you're using the right stick and it doesn't catch up with when you're like, and I'm like, everything is so fast. It's like there's like 5 cars in the game. There's like a sports car. There's which I really appreciate being a huge GTA 5 fan, the dune buggy thing that's in there, but it's like even more souped up. There's like a Jeep. There's like a sedan. There's taxis. There's a couple other cars. But I'm comparing, a 20-year-old game to GTA 5. So I shouldn't do that. But man, that the controls are like... And when they said GTA 5 controls, I thought when I hit L2 to aim and then R2 to fire, it wasn't just going to be a green reticle like on some dude's belly button. I'm like, no, I want to be able to... No, it's like...
Well, you can turn off auto aim.
Okay, well then maybe that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
Because I don't like it. I did the mission where you've got the helicopter.
Yeah.
I was like, this is fun, but also
That
I did it on my first
like
try.
crap.
But it controls like crap. I got it done with like 10 seconds.
I beat it on my first try with...
I thought I was going to have to drop
much.
the bomb and get out, but you drop the bomb and everything explodes. I was like, okay, thank God.
Yeah.
I hate... One thing I hate, like the driving controls in GTA 5 are my favorite driving controls in any game. One of the things that drives me nuts about Vice City, and I assume the other 2 games as well, you're driving, and I'm driving really fast, obviously, because it's GTA. I want to hit the brakes with L2 and turn. You hit the brakes, you cannot turn. So I'm having... Especially when I was getting on one of the missions, I had to get on I had to get on a dirt bike. So I'm doing a lot of R1. I'm doing e-brakes and stuff. That damn golf club mission at the beginning where you got to go kill the dude when he's at the driving range. I failed at that 10 times. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I finally let him get away. I got in my car. I kept ramming him. And then he finally fell in the pond and died. I was like, well, okay, I guess I win. Now I can just leave and get my gun back. Okay, cool. Also, the AI for the cops in this is just insane. Like, I think GTA 4 did this as well, but GTA 5, which is obviously more recent in my mind, if you've got a wanted level, you can see on your mini-map, the cops have a cone where they can see. In this game, I'm sitting in an alleyway. There's no one around me, and my 2-star rating is just sitting there. It's not blinking or anything. I'm like, so I have to let them see me and then get away? Like, how do I actually get away from the cops in this game? I don't know.
I haven't had this. I usually just drive.
You drive so far away.
Yes. Have you had the issues I had with just random cars just
oh my God.
just like driving, crashing into you constantly?
But I have issues where I go in for I pull up to one of the pink marker things to go in, have a cutscene play, and then do the next story mission. And I come out and it's like there's like
like a 15-car pile
a
up.
fire hydrant has exploded. There's 2 dead people, including a cop in the road. There's blood everywhere. And I'm like, I didn't do that. What is happening? Also, yes. How are you driving down the road and it's like, and the cars go, and they plow over 2 or 3 pedestrians or something. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't regret buying it yet. It's like dumb fun. I haven't done any cheats yet or anything. Maybe that would make it more fun. But I'm just playing through the story because, again, I've never played it. I killed a dude with a chainsaw because of course.
One thing I will say, it kind of made me, even though I feel like it's probably where it's going, I don't want GTA 6 to be Vice City.
So
I don't think... I think Liberty City and
I think San Andreas
San
is the
Andreas,
best setting.
both are like much better settings for Grand Theft Auto.
So, did you see this about GTA 6? In San Andreas,
Oh, there's like a picture of a house or something
There's
that
a
nobody
house.
can find in the game.
there's a house that has pictures when they did, I think it was when they did the mobile ports for GTA San Andreas forever ago. In this one house, they put pictures of houses with UFOs flying above them. All those, I think there was 3 pictures. I could be wrong. Hit the comments. Who cares? My nose. That they were all houses that ended up being in GTA 5. Now there's a new picture of a house that is in there. And people that like live and die in GTA 5, they cannot find that house anywhere on the map in GTA 5. But they've geolocated where like an actual representation of that house is in the actual real world, and it's in Miami. So they think GTA 6 is Miami, which all along I assumed it would be.
Yeah.
You can't
I
go
mean,
GTA
I'm sure
5 in San Andreas
if
and
you
then do
look
6 there.
Right. I mean, but if you look at just how much Liberty City changed from 3 to 4 and how, San Andreas to GTA 5 changed, I'm sure they can do it right. It just doesn't seem as fun to me.
Well, speaking of that, I saw a tweet today. I never actually read the article. This is what happens when you just read headlines. So who knows if this is true or not. Somebody said they had a spokesperson from Rockstar said that GTA 6 might not be as edgy or funny as previous GTA games. Like, well, then what are you doing?
I mean, I'm okay if it's not as funny.
But GTA is edgy. GTA is making fun of all of us. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
James says, I like the bounty missions in San Andreas. You can access them in a cop car or bike. I do remember that. Again, I loved San Andreas the first time I played it. My problem was when I went back and tried to play it the second time, I was like, I don't want to have to make CJ eat burgers or eat like salads and then work out and do all. I was like, this is just annoying. I love the story of San Andreas so much. It's just the gameplay gets in the way in my mind.
Yeah.
But if they fix some of that and made it just like you push one button and you're like, then okay, whatever, cool.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll try it out at some point, but I do want to finish Vice City.
Also,
and then
Samuel L's in it.
in San Andreas?
Yeah, he's a cop. I can't remember his name, but he's the cop.
Huh, I didn't know that.
He's a bad cop.
Interesting.
So yeah, I probably played about 2 hours of Vice City. I like it, but it's like, man, and I shouldn't judge it. I can't judge, like I said, a 20-year-old game against GTA 5. But like even, I just feel like the whole GTA 5 control scheme was a little bit overblown. And that annoys me.
See, I just don't remember how they used to control, so.
Bad. Used to drive with circle. Think about Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, you haven't played anything else?
No, sir.
All right, Sean. Want to get the news of the week?
Let's do it.
Sean,
Yes.
I think this is for you, but I also think you hate this game, so let's see. VGC says that a Chrono Cross remake is coming. Chrono Cross, which was released for the original PlayStation in 1999, was one of many unannounced titles listed in an Nvidia database leak in September. A list the company subsequently admitted was real, even if said the games didn't necessarily exist. By the way, 10 of those games have proven to be real so far, so obviously it was all real. The following month, VGC reported on claims that PlayStation was set to announce a remake of a, quote, big game this Christmas, which were made by a musician who said they were involved with its soundtrack.
What's her name?
What?
What's her name?
Folk singer Ieba McMahon, who performs as Ava. Oh, so her name's probably Ava McMahon, spelled weird.
Oh, maybe.
Told Irish radio station WLR-FM that she had recorded an Irish language theme for the game, which had yet to be revealed. According to Xbox Era co-founder Nick Baker, the remake in question is Chrono Cross Remastered. Quote, Chrono Cross Remastered, I think, was already on the Nvidia leak list, so the game shouldn't be a surprise. It was on Nvidia's list. But I was told that that the VGC article is about Chrono Cross Remastered, he said in the latest podcast. What else I was told? Because everybody's working under the assumption that it's a PlayStation exclusive. I've been told that it's not. The only word that was used was multi-plat. Now, when I hear JRPG and multi-plat, I automatically assume PC, PlayStation, Switch. That's my assumption. That's not what I was told. That's my assumption. All my source said to me was multi-plat. That's what they were told. That's what they said. They told me it wasn't PlayStation exclusive. Less than 2 weeks before McMahon's radio appearance, Chrono Cross composer Yasunori Mitsuda tweeted a photo of McGlynn and his daughter preparing to perform music remotely. McGlynn was the founder of Irish choral group Nuna, of which McMahon used to be a member. The group was previously performed pieces for video games and featured as the voices of Halo and Diablo 3. PlayStation has no events confirmed for Christmas at the time of publication, although the Game Awards 2021 is set to take place on December 9th. You have thoughts on Chrono Cross?
I do.
So does it need a remaster or a remake?
That's what I was going to say. I don't know. A lot of people really love this game. And I don't know that I have a problem with the gameplay and stuff. But I don't think if you literally just put a fresh coat of paint on it and re-release it, I think the game needs more than that. It does not need a Final Fantasy VII remake type remake. But if it's literally just a remaster...
Is it standard turn-based party system? Okay.
It is, but there's something weird about it. They're very heavy into like the elements, but there's like a lot. There's like fire and ice, which I think counteract each other. I think there's water and lightning or thunder, which counteract each other. There's
Jackass.
I think earth and wind that counteract each other. Then there's like...
Is this Captain Planet?
Dark and holy. Like, there's a lot of elements.
And 30-something characters, right?
There's a lot of characters. You can't even unlock them all in one playthrough.
Okay.
I think pretty much every enemy, or maybe every enemy, has an elemental affinity. And so you always want to make sure you're using the element that goes against it. But then there's something about if you... There's some kind of weird... I want to call it momentum or something kind of system... I don't remember. It seemed weird to me at the time, but I think I was very new to RPGs at the time, so maybe it just kind of confused me. But my main problem with this game, and we've talked about it in our gaming pet peeves and stuff, is I don't want to spoil it, especially if there's people that haven't played it, but
leaving.
Yeah, like you're playing the game, and then all of a sudden it's just like they just blow everything up, and you're... I don't know. I don't want to say you're starting from scratch, but some weird stuff happens, and I'm just like, I hate when games do that.
Yeah.
If this is purely just a remaster, I'm a little intrigued, but I'm not like over the moon excited for it. If it is more of a remake, now I think you're really talking. Now, I don't know. This game is old, like 25 years old. It's old. I cannot imagine there would be this big announcement of literally just a 25-year-old game that just they maybe put new sprites in, like just cleaned up the graphics. So I'm hoping it's more than that. But
would you rather have Chrono Trigger, or is that perfect?
Chrono Trigger is a much better game.
Right.
If they could redo Chrono Trigger, but see, I don't know how you do it. In that 2D format, you can't. You kind of have to stick to turn-based. Yeah. You can. There's no other. You can't do like a Final Fantasy VII kind of thing. Yeah. You could remake it just with still a 2D game, but 3D graphics, whatever. I don't know that it needs it. I don't think it adds anything to it. It would get me... I would play it again. But yeah, I don't know. I think Chrono Trigger is a much better game. But it's cool that they haven't forgotten about this game. You hardly ever hear about this game. Everybody's like, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Trigger. Chrono Cross, it's not a bad game, but it just seems like people have forgotten about it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's cool to see that people remember it, but...
I mean, I think if this actually comes out, and if this is announced at the Game Awards, the Game Awards, people have been saying that. By the way, I had to correct this article because it said, well, PlayStation doesn't have anything around Christmas, but they will be at the Game Awards. I was like, no, F you. Like, I
literally
love VGC,
the game or the TGA.
and then capital THE Game Awards at the Game Awards. No. I love VGC. You guys do amazing work. I cannot say the Game Awards.
That's stupid.
But I do think if they do a full, I gotta say, based on how, again, it won't be FF7 remake, but if they actually remake this into something that's more palatable for me, I would like to try it. I don't know that I've ever actually tried Chrono Trigger. I've played Mana a little bit. I played FF6 a
If you
little
just
bit.
don't like turn-based,
Right.
I don't think you'll like it.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a perfect game.
Well, I mean, to a lot of people that are not me,
Yeah.
to a lot of people, it's the best game ever made.
Yeah.
So clearly, I'm an idiot. All right. Next up on the news, Sean. This comes from IGN. Kojima Productions is opening a studio in LA, but it's not what they used to have there. I feel like I do some of these kind of like I'm Greenberg, Mike Greenberg.
I'm aware.
Like, and after the break, or I could be like Bill Simmons or the Office ladies. We've talked for 5 minutes. Okay, it's time to take a break. All right. Death Stranding developer Kojima Productions has opened a new division in Los Angeles that will be dedicated to movies, TV, and music. As reported by GamesIndustry.biz, the new studio will be led by former PlayStation Vice President of Business Affairs Riley Russell, who will lead the California team as the developer looks to branch out into a wider range of media. Quote, the team has its charter, the goal of expanding the reach and awareness of the properties now under development at Kojima Productions. The properties... and to make them even more of a part of our popular culture, explains Russell in an interview with GamesIndustry.biz. Although we are a global organization, the new business development team will be centered in L.A., California. We are trying... I saw it. Los Angeles, California. I was like, L.A., see you in California. In Los Angeles, Tennessee.
In L.A., California.
We are truly excited and looking forward to working with the very best entertainment talent we can across all of the entertainment industries. Kojima Productions was set up by video game designer Hideo Kojima in 2015 following his split with Konami. Well, the studio has since only produced one game. I don't like them saying that. Many studios, whatever. They've only produced one game in Death Stranding, or two if you count the subsequent director's cut. Many fans have been speculating as to what the studio's next project might be. Blah, 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 blah. In June, Kojima offered some insight into the future during an interview where he stated that he was rethinking his creative process following the events of the COVID-19 pandemic. Quote, in the past, about creating things, I was always thinking about what could happen in society in 5, 10, or 20 years. It was like predicting the future and adding the entertainment essence. And that's how I always created. But this time, the pandemic came much too soon. The reality came much too soon, especially on Death Stranding. So I've changed how I think and create now. All right. What do you think about this before I get into my thoughts? Kojima apparently wants to get into movies, TV, and music.
I think that's where he was. Maybe not music, but movies. He kind of already makes movies. He just calls them video games. But, like, they're basically movies. I would like to see... I would watch a Death Stranding movie in a heartbeat, as long as I don't have to play and, like, actually sit
Did you
there.
ever watch the ending that I sent you? That was only 30 minutes? I didn't think so.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd like to see
But
what
yes,
he could
continue, please.
do. I'd like to see what he could do in movies or TV shows. Music, maybe not so much, unless it's something with churches.
DK Metcalf has 0 points in the fourth quarter.
It's just short of the 55 you needed.
45. So you would like to see him make movies, TV shows, whatever.
Yeah. Not exclusively, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. My thing is like, if he wants to do it, like I would never tell somebody what they should do. This man is like the reason this podcast exists. Like our first episode was Metal Gear Solid 5 spoiler cast, you know, after everything that went down with Konami and everything. And then Death Stranding came out and I thought it would suck. Like I was so hyped. And then I was like, what the hell is this game? And then I was like, this game probably sucks, but whatever. And then it was one of my favorite games ever. I'm never going to tell somebody what they should or shan't do, but
Short. What part of short don't you understand?
if he wants to make movies or TV shows, I think he could do it. I just don't want, it's selfish, but I don't want him to. I don't want, like, everything he tweets is movie. Everything is like, oh, I got this last night in Soho, and I got this Nicholas Winding Refn. We were having a FaceTime for 7 hours, and, you know, like, he was in Death Stranding. Like, he loves film. He loves movies. He loves everything about it. I don't think you can just make a Death Stranding movie. What?
I agree.
I think, like, if he wants to do it, fine.
The Postman? What was that?
The movie or a character?
The movie.
Yeah.
Is that
it was
about
Kevin Costner.
Does he just walk around delivering things to people?
Yeah, to Heart Man and Die Hard Man and Jackass Man. That's your character. Ass Man. That's you. You're Kramer. You're Ass Man.
Jack Ass Man.
Act 2 of Metal Gear Solid 5 sucks. Sorry, Kevin. No, James, you're right. You're right. Again, I feel I love Metal Gear Solid 5, but you could have done a better job with, like, to me, Metal Gear has always been about the story and the lore and everything. You could have done a much better job if you didn't make it open world and just have all these random missions, and then Act 2 where you replay everything so many times to finally get the last missions to pop up. It was bad. If Kojima wants to do this, fine. Please God, don't leave video games. Like, he finally got away from Metal Gear and he made Death Stranding, which, no matter what some people think, I think really is like a masterpiece of a game. Even playing through it a second time, I love it. I love the story and everything about it. The story would not be the same, I'm telling you, if you just watched 15 hours of cutscenes, whatever it is in that game. It's not that much. It's nowhere near like Metal Gear Solid 4. It's probably like 4 or 5 hours. It's not the same thing. I think like what he does so well is like he has Psycho Mantis say, "Oh, I see you like I see you like Symphony of the Night. Oh, you like to play whatever old Konami games." Like, you can't do that in a movie like Kojima. You can't have Metal Gear Solid 2 work to take Death Stranding out of it and 5. You can't have 2 be as impactful and thought-provoking as it was if it were just a movie and not a game that you actually play through and experience and go, what the F is happening
I agree.
to your character? So if he wants to do it, great. I love the man so much, but just don't leave video games is what I would say.
I don't think he will.
Probably because he'll fail. And he'll come back. And the last item on the news list, Sean. We're going to end it on a sour note before we get to the wrap-up. Half-Life 3 is apparently not in development, and this comes from VGC. Half-Life 3 is not in active development, and Valve is instead focusing on the stupid, that's me editorializing, Steam Deck-friendly titles, according to a report. Tyler McVicker, which doesn't seem like a real name, a Valve News Network.
It also says Tilver, and I didn't do that. Well, I'm guessing it's supposed to say Tyler.
Well, that's more believable than Tyler. So Tiller McVicker. Tiller. I hope you guys like this podcast. Tilver McVickler. McVicker? Wait, McVicker? Okay, we got to clip this out for episode 300.
Oh, God.
A Valve News Network states in a new video that according to his sources, there's no... This is like a really sad article, and we're just laughing. No sequel in development for Half-Life 2 Episode 2. Quote, to get to the big question out of the way, is there a true follow-up to Half-Life 2 Episode 2 in development at any capacity at Valve Software? The end of Half-Life Alyx, for those who haven't played it heavily, spoiler alert, I guess, hints towards the continuation of Gordon Freeman's story. I don't know what that means. Sean doesn't know what it means, obviously. You played Half-Life 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Neither of us played Episode 1 or 2, though. The DLC for Half-Life 2.
No.
Okay. Whatever that means, don't put it in the chat. Don't comment below, because I don't know. But apparently Gordon is in it or hinted at. That makes me happy. The issue is that, no, at the current time, there isn't a major development team working on anything outside of the few pieces of software that are specifically tailored for hardware right now. Valve is trying to get the Steam Deck out, and like many people have observed, the Steam Deck has been significantly more successful than originally anticipated, so Valve is throwing a lot at it. Half-Life 3, Half-Life 2 Episode 3, any kind of traditional mouse and keyboard FPS at Valve is not taking place. And if it is, it's a very small group of people, and those individuals will not be seen as value generating by the higher ups, end quote. McVickler claims that Valve is instead working on a separate project called Citadel, which McVickler has been reporting on for some time. According to him, Citadel's game mechanics make it a better fit for the Steam Deck, which is why Valve is reportedly focusing on that. Quote, Valve is working on a piece of software to best showcase what the Steam Deck is capable of doing. Citadel. This is a nostalgia test. This is a Half-Life based FPS/RTS high. How can you have a first-person shooter real-time strategy game hybrid?
I don't know. Think Left 4 Dead or Alien Swarm. And
you suck. That's cooperatively based. Think about Left 4 Dead and Alien Swarm and RTS and Half-Life all having a baby.
Just now?
Yeah. How did you do that? Someone, I didn't shut my mouth. I didn't do it on purpose. All right. This sucks. Like, we should have known that Valve making Half-Life Alyx was just it was just too good to be true. We're never going to get I don't know what you're going to predict for the Game Awards, but I would suggest you don't predict Half-Life 3 or Half-Life, like, it's not even Half-Life 3, it's Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Like, Half-Life 2 Episode 2 led into whatever it was, and I can't remember. I'm glad that it's been so long that I've forgotten it. In 2007, I think it came out. They led into what was going to be Episode 3, and then Valve was like, nah, we're going to launch Steam. We don't care. Like, I don't know why you would make Half-Life Alyx, especially if it does tease as what happens with Gordon Freeman's story, and then just say, nah, we're good. We don't care. We're going to focus on the Steam Deck and make a little RTS you can go.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I'm not surprised. I haven't been holding my breath for a Half-Life 3 for many years now. I don't know. I think Half-Life Alyx was them just kind of throwing us a bone, and I think that's all we're getting.
It's so frustrating. One of the best IPs ever created, and they just don't care. All right, Sean, it's time for the wrap-up. The PlayStation blog gave us more deets on Horizon Forbidden West. Sean thought he could be slick. He went into the document and he wrote Horizon Forbidden East.
Data East.
I'm like 60% sure it came from your computer. A lot of notification and sound just came through. It might have been me hawking a loogie.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. We're trying to figure out this new PC. Hopefully everything works well. We got more details on Horizon Forbidden West. They have showed the new Oseram outpost of Chainscrape. They show NPCs actively will engage with everything. There's a reactive crowd system for every NPC. They will react based on different what's it called? Damn it, I didn't write it down. Attitudes. Everybody has a different, like the NPCs, they're trying to make it, and this is why I don't believe that, like, oh, it'll be fine on PS4. No. Every NPC has its own attitude and AI that plays off of everything else, and I cannot wait to see it. The tribes will be recognizable based on looks, animations, and behaviors. The chefs will cook meals for Aloy for stat boost. Gorilla wanted the towns and villages to feel lived in, vibrant, and useful. Nice try.
That wasn't me.
Okay, well, that was me. Official PS5 faceplates may be coming sooner than later after Sony has finally patented their design. Whatever. I got my D-brand faceplates coming sometime next year, and I cannot wait. I told Jess, and she was like, thank God. It's like, we're going to get rid of these big white. She was like, thank you. I'm like, you're welcome.
You just get black?
Yeah. Epic Games, this is when you know video game acquisitions have gone way too far. Epic Games has bought Harmonix, the creators of Guitar Hero and Rock Band. What are they going to do? It was 100% not your Louie. Weird. Oh, you know what? Something maybe something popped up. Maybe I don't have desktop audio muted. Oh, I don't.
You don't. I can see it.
All right. Well, sorry, James. That won't happen anymore. Mute. Okay. Can you still hear us? I hope so. Epic Games bought Harmonix, not to make more Rock Band or Guitar Hero games. They bought them to, quote, develop musical journeys and gameplay for Fortnite. What gameplay are they going to develop for Fortnite? You're going to be building, and you're like, you got to build like, wall, 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 wall. Like, that was good, right?
That was okay.
But also, thank you. But also, like, I know that Chris, like, they've done movies in Fortnite. They've done Ariana Grande and all this other crap concert. Like,
I'm so sick of it.
But it's so sad. Like, we loved Rock Band and Guitar Hero back in the day, and now they're just like, yeah, come make for Fortnite. You know?
Yeah.
It sucks. Xbox has launched its virtual museum to celebrate their 20-year anniversary, as well as so it'll celebrate 20 years of Xbox, as well as your personal moments and good and bad moments in Xbox history. They do have a whole section dedicated to the Red Ring of Death. Appreciate Xbox doing that. Oh, that's my alarm for a certain little red guy. But also shows you your most played games and everything like that. Again, Xbox does the design lab for controllers. They do this kind of stuff to celebrate their history. PlayStation made Astro, cool. But like,
yeah,
sometimes they'll do the end of the year wrap up where it's like, how many games did you play? Whatever. But like, this is so cool, and I applaud Xbox for doing it. At the Golden Joysticks, Resident Evil Village won the game of, I was going to say Ultimate Game of the Year because that was the actual, but they won Game of the Year, and Death's Door won the Independent Game of the Year. I'm shocked Resident Evil Village won it.
That's awesome.
Happy for them. Great for them. Speaking of Resident Evil, RE4 VR is the fastest selling app in the history of the Oculus Quest. And it will be getting the Mercenaries mode for free next year. That seems like a horrible idea, but good for them. I still haven't played it. I should, but I haven't. Star Wars Battlefront 3 was pitched to EA, but they canned it because of the licensing costs associated with it. Didn't you already have the license? I think they were just like, Battlefront sucks, and we're done.
Maybe.
Battlefield 2042 has had, quote, millions of players since launch and twice as many as Battlefield 5. Even though apparently everybody thinks this game sucks, I don't know. I don't care at all about it. Good for EA, but also bad for EA? I don't know.
I mean, even when there's a bad game, a lot of people are going to play it. Doesn't mean they're going to continue to play it,
right.
But, I mean, you got to play it once before you realize it's bad, so...
The Street Fighter V final DLC character, Luke, is almost available, and apparently he will be the future of Street Fighter and play a role in Street Fighter 6. They haven't said that, but the future of Street Fighter. And they said more news will be coming next year. I think Street Fighter 6... Street Fighter V came out January or was it February? I can't remember. Of 2016. It's time. It has to come out next year. It would have been 6 years. So this guy's coming out. I don't care about him at all. He should not be the future of Street Fighter. I will say that makes me nervous. The future of Street Fighter is just Ryu and Ken or Ryu and Ken. Like, Sagat. Like, what are we talking about? I know I'm like old man yelling at the clouds, whatever, but like the future is the past when it comes to Street Fighter. That's what made Street Fighter 4 so freaking good, was they went back and said, you know what? Street Fighter 2 characters with a new, fresh coat of paint, an awesome fighting system, some cool new tricks and stuff. That's what we're doing. Thank you.
Yeah.
The PS5 and PC versions of Uncharted 4 have been rated. I forget if it was Taiwan or whatever, but apparently they will not be including the multiplayer component. I don't care.
I don't care.
I'm also not going to play it. It looked pretty enough on my PS4. I'm not going to buy it on PS5. Amazon is nearing a deal for Mass Effect TV show that apparently has been in the works for a while. A lot of people are mad. I don't care about Mass Effect. I don't care about Amazon. Games with Gold games for December. Xbox gets The Escapist 2, Tropico 5, Orcs Must Die, and Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet.
I don't know any of those.
I've heard of 3 of them. I've never heard of a Twisted Shadow Planet.
I mean, I've heard of them, but
right,
I know
but I don't know
nothing
what
about
they are.
them.
I think Tropico 5 is like a Civ game, but I don't know for sure. Like Civilization.
Yeah.
PS Plus, again, for like 17,000 months in a row, has leaked. Apparently for December, we're getting Godfall on PS4 and PS5. Mortal Shell, which is actually supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
And Lego DC Superheroes, which is also supposed to be pretty good. Mortal Shell is apparently a Soulsborne-ish. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Godfall sucks. Chris Raygun on Sacred Symbols this weekend said, a lot of times on this podcast, we tell people, just add it to your library and sometime you'll play it or you won't. He said, don't add it to your library. This is one of the worst games he has ever played in his entire life. It will infect your entire library. Don't do it.
But how can it be that bad? Like,
It's
what is
just-
so bad about it?
It's just like, I'm gonna I'm gonna download it and try it and try to give it a fair shake. But all I've heard from everyone that's ever played it, unless they had an ad or something like kind of funny, was that this game sucks and it's boring and there's just nothing there. So we'll see. I will say though, Godfall at least is a big name. Mortal Shell is supposed to be awesome. Lego DC Superheroes is a Lego game. I think PlayStation wins
PlayStation wins this month.
easily. If this is the real list, I think they win it easily.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean, that is it for episode 260 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully we got to the end without any major technical difficulties or anything other than a weird noise that may have popped up about 10 minutes ago. It's been fun. Again, no regular episode next week because of life. We will do a predictions, either a full episode. We'll see how long it ends up being. We'll either do a full episode. We'll call it a full episode, or it'll just be a video on YouTube. Oh God, I didn't even say this. So we switched. Damn it! I should have said this at the beginning. We switched our podcast provider from SoundCloud, thank God, over to Anchor. I think everything is working smoothly. It worked on my phone okay. But if you listen to us and you're not seeing our podcast, let us know. But you're not hearing this, so you won't let us know. Okay, I got to figure out a way to get this out. Was Godfall the one that was only possible on PS5? Then yes, it was. It was only possible on PS5. It was just a bland, like, third-person action game where you swing big swords, and they said it could only be on the PS5. And then 6 months later, it was on PS4. So yes. But if you're listening to us on audio services and you're still listening to this, let us know. If you can't hear us, I don't know. Whatever. I'll figure out a way. I'll talk about it next time. But until that time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.